Today we have a speaker. Not just any speaker. RGB speaker. On today's episode of Two Dudes Audio, we have a new speaker. I mean, hey, already I can tell, weight-wise, it doesn't feel too bad. I mean, we're probably talking about maybe 25, 30 pounds. So what we have today with us is basically, it's called an EXOTON 12-inch professional active speaker. It's part of the Viscount series. Apparently, it has a PMPO output of 8,000 watts. It's got TWS, whatever the hell that means. It's bi-amplifiable. Bi-amplifier. That's what it says on the box. Literally, it says bi-amplifier. It's got independent switchable LED light, portable retractable rod and wheels. Yep. Built-in limiter, protects against overload. We're definitely gonna check that. Durable lightweight speaker cabinet with dynamic sound. It actually does come with a little stand. I mean, this is like probably the tiniest tripod stand I think I've ever seen in my life. Can't see this being really all that useful, considering most top speakers should be mounted at ear level, if not above ear level. Ooh. And this thing is probably, yeah, okay, never mind. We're not even gonna bother. It is built half decent, so a lot of manufacturers don't even include a tripod stand, so you know, it shows a little bit of effort. The back panel, on the other hand, looks pretty in depth. I mean, you got knobs everywhere on this thing. You have level 1, level 2 for the mic, level 1 for line 1, and level 2 for MP3. So you have a whole bunch of connections, which is nice. You have your XLR 1/4 inch inputs as well as 1/4 inch, as well as XLR out. You have a 3.5 millimeter aux cord input. Looks like you can mess with the treble and the bass a bit too. It's got an LED display. I mean, honestly, for the money, that's not bad. I mean, you get a pretty decent amount of options, including the whole LCD display, which I'm sure does a few things. But other than that, you have your LED on-off button. You can change it from 110 volt to 220, or in case of any of you have actual good electricity, we're talking 120, 240. Build-wise, I mean, this thing doesn't look too terrible. I mean, the build quality is pretty okay. Nothing really creaks right off the bat. Nothing really feels too cheap. I can't really foresee this thing lasting too long. It's already got a heap ton of play in it. Comes with a remote, which is kind of cool. It also came with a XLR, it's a 1/4 inch input. Came with its own little microphone by their own company, EXOTON. It does actually have an on-off switch for the mic, which, metal construction. It doesn't feel particularly cheap, but I just, I have my own reserves. We have a cable to power it up, probably about a 6-foot cable, probably 5 feet, 6 or 5. It did come with a cute little remote. All your typical stuff, volume up, volume down, skip next tracks. It didn't come with batteries. We're not gonna put batteries in it because honestly, I could care less about how well the remote does. Well, hi. Let's give it a sound test and see what's up. All right, so after about 10 to 15 minutes of fumbling, we finally figured out how to connect Bluetooth to this thing. I was gonna say, honestly, for what it's worth, I know I'm rubbing my face a lot because I'm very conflicted on this. It doesn't sound half bad. It really doesn't. That was actually max volume, by the way. So it doesn't get very loud, but for how loud it gets, it keeps itself tamed. So I wouldn't say completely this is like garbage. It really isn't. I mean, for the money, it really isn't bad. The cool LED effects are, you know, if you're into that stuff, it's pretty cool. Ultimately, I have to admit, it doesn't sound as bad as I thought it would. It really doesn't. It sounds pretty okay. I mean, it's not the loudest speaker by any means. I mean, it definitely doesn't do the rated wattage that it claims, but it's not bad. It really is. I mean, like if you were using this thing for like a barbecue or just, you know, like a garage speaker or just, you know, having some, you know, family event and you just wanted background music and stuff like that, this thing will actually perform half decent. The thing I don't like, which I don't think the camera picked up, but when you stand behind this speaker, you can hear a whole bunch of farting noises. You can hear air escaping through the handle. You can hear air escaping through the 1/4-inch inputs on the back. You can feel air coming out of the back amplifier. So it's not a sealed amplifier, and because of that, they're actually losing sound pressure and kind of ruining the acoustics in that manner. But for the money it costs, it really isn't that bad. We've actually heard speakers sound worse than this for more money, so. All right, so the microphone that they supplied, I wouldn't say it's like the worst. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. It is what it is. Let's test it with a proper Shure microphone because I'm sure the Shure will do better. I'm dead inside. All right, so this is it with the Shure microphone. Definitely has a lot better of a range. It doesn't sound like I'm breathing down the microphone's tube. Again, something I would recommend if you're going to use a microphone with the speaker, use a premixer or, you know, a mixer board. It helps with trying to even out sensitivities with output. So now we're just going to do a pink noise generator. We found that through having pink noise ran through the speaker, it'll let you see kind of the peaks of the speaker and see where the voids are, so you can get an idea of what the frequency response is of the speaker. For those of you that don't know, pink noise is just about every frequency played at unison, and it allows the speaker to kind of show where it naturally sits in terms of frequency response. So without further ado, let's get to it. Let's see what it does. You know, this was just a simple microphone test. We did a music test, so now we're just gonna take it apart and see what's good with it. Oh, that came out way too easily. Oh, yeah, not too bad. A lot of wires going on in here. Hey, the amplifier's not too bad either. Yeah, it's not the worst thing. It's kind of stinky. It's got like some kind of factory smell to it. They did put polyfill in here, amazingly. They actually put some polyfill in here. Yeah, as you can see, I mean, amplifier is actually half decent. It's got a toroidal transformer, which is old school, but it ensures actually decent, you know, clarity and less distortion in terms of power supply demands. It's not honestly that cheap. The woofer isn't half bad. I mean, you can see the magnet's decent in size. They didn't use super cheap connections besides spades, which I hate. The horn actually feels like a titanium horn. Unfortunately, we'd have to take this whole front fascia off to get the horn out, but it looks pretty normal. No cheap garbage under there. So honestly, this thing's kind of impressing me for how cheap it is and how decent of build quality we got. There's a lot of gimmicks going on, but at the end of the day, it really isn't that terrible. It's not an awful speaker for what you pay. We're gonna give it an excursion test with this woofer and just see what it can do. Out of scale of 1 to 10, this is like a solid 6, maybe 5.5. It's not the best speaker, it's not the worst speaker. You definitely get what you pay for. It's on the cheaper end, it's gonna perform more on the cheaper end, but it's not what I would consider awful. But you know, if you're just looking for a cheap party speaker that will do better than most of the garbage you can get at, you know, Best Buy or Walmart or anything like that, this thing's not bad. Again, this was the Exotic, or Exotic, what the f is it called? God, I don't even remember what the hell it's called. It's called the EXOTON. So again, this company, EXOTON, if you're looking for just a cheap party speaker for your house or a little, you know what, this thing would be perfect in a frat house. If you guys are looking to purchase this item, it is actually down in the description. We have a link to it, and if you guys wanted to buy it for, you know, cheap purposes and stuff like that, I do actually recommend it. It doesn't sound half bad. It does what it needs to. A little gimmicky, but not the worst thing ever. Let us know if you guys want to see more of cheaper speakers, or if you want us to go back to the professional high-end speakers. Just let us know in the comments below. Thank you again for watching Two Dudes Audio, and we'll see you again in a little while. Get it over with. Doesn't matter. And then take this subwoofer, you would have probably one of the best 18-inch subwoofers for your money. We have a direct comparison between a replica of a JBL Eon, and then we have an actual JBL Eon right here. Quality that I would almost expect out of like a hi-fi subwoofer. Alright, so let's see what's in here. Typically, people have seen what the Mackie Thumps have to offer.